Mosquito Lake. I've been trying to figure out how to use the boat. I spent what, 6 silver, which doesn't sound bad now that I think about it. I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff and just trolling on the boat. So here we go. I was waiting till let's turn this engine. But you know what? You can see my rods and stuff on the boat already. So first off, I'm just gonna come to the shore, so just bear with me so that I can dock the boat, or run it onto the shore really, because there's no docking in this game. You just basically just get close to the shore. Alright, so let's press G, turn that off. Let me grab the rods out the water. Alright, there's one. And there's another one right there. Yeah, so I kind of figured out their idea on how to fish Mosquito Lake now. Let me press escape. Let's go to the keep net. This is all the fish I've gotten from one day. I think maybe one day and a couple hours in the afternoon of fishing from the boat. I mean, it's not that bad. When I finally found out how to catch fish, I actually made a decent amount of money. Some of these guys, I don't know. Sometimes you can come up here and sell them at the cafe. Sometimes they want the perch and stuff. But yeah, look, like these eyes, they're not that big, and but they're worth a lot, and you can consistently get them out of here. Chubs as well. Chubs are very expensive. It looks like nobody really uses the boat on Mosquito Lake, which is kind of a shame, because I mean, for 1 silver a piece, it's amazing. I mean, just look at the price. One silver per chub, and you can get a chub onto the boat like nothing, right? At least for me, I imagine it would be a little bit of a fight, which would make sense since they're 1 silver. But look, for one day, 14 silver. That's freaking amazing. It beats grinding out the Crucians by a long shot. So yeah, it's also because of the fish market here. It's local, so I imagine the majority of players beat up this lake for the Crucian carp and whatever. So they don't really fish from a boat, which makes sense because this is the very first lake you unlock. So yeah, so in one day you will actually make enough money to rent a boat for 5 days. I wish I would have known this, because I would have been grinding this lake out big time. But yes, honestly, it's kind of, you can't really do that because you can't really grind using the boat right away. Well, you know what? Second thought, maybe you can. Cause I know I spent money on stuff that I really well no, cause you need lures and stuff. You can start out small though. Let me just show you. So the Mosquito Lake is 5 day boat rental for 660. One day is 350, right? So for twice, a little bit less than twice as much for one day, you actually get 5 days. Which is what I had done. I only have 2 more days left, so I'll probably have to end up getting another ticket here pretty soon. So what you want to do is start in the morning, and then you need 2 spinning rods. So let's come over here to the tackle store, and let me show you what the equipment you need. Because I'm pretty sure. Let's go to rods, let's go to spinning rods. Yeah, so 19, you could probably just buy 2 19 silver rods and 2 express fishing sparks. Get 2 of these fishing lines, and you don't really even need a leader, but I mean they're 1 silver a piece. These are actually better, but I don't think you can get them until you're a certain level. Yeah, but so for what is it, 20? That's 18. That's 19 silver. 19, 20. That's 19, 18. That's 29. 29 plus 18. What? 29 plus 18 is 37. 37 plus what? 12 pounds. 37 plus 9 is 56. And you also need lures. The one, yeah. So I mean, you could probably fish with these express for a while to get your cash up, but the main way to fish it is to use these hypnotics. I'm using this number 7. This is 1780. So yeah, you probably won't be able to afford that, but you'll probably be able to afford your 2 rods and reels right away and this express tiny spoon. I've seen some people get some big fish with this. I'm not lying. I'm actually pondering if I should just buy one, but I have the hypnotic and it works great. I'm actually thinking about buying the Slim Shot soon, so that I can step up the size of my fish by a little bit. Because this is the spoon that's setting records here. I have one of these and I've tried it. It did not work. I don't know if using any kind of spinner baits would work. I haven't done that. But yeah, you could just buy the hypnotic. Red is killing it, and you don't even need any more hooks. It has the right hook and everything. Yeah, so let me show you my current setup. Come to inventory. I have this dynamic, and I actually have a lot of string and stuff, but I have both of these hypnotics on size 8 hooks. So you go over there, rent out your boat, eat yourself some field lunch, right? We're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you where to go trolling and how to troll. Oh, before we leave, I actually have information on the workshop. So I was complaining about spending so much money on repairing, and somebody posted and said it's the same price. It doesn't matter how much wear and tear your rod has. So it's gonna be 5 silver if it's at 9, or 5 silver if it's at 99. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, and supposedly you have to stay online because your character is doing the repairs. So I was like, okay, well that makes more sense, that it's just one flat purchase for 1% versus, and it tells me on the bottom right, 1 day 18 hours. So yeah, I still have all day today, a little bit tomorrow. Like I said, I started off in the afternoon, and I've been trolling. So you're gonna want to turn your fucking boat around. Come on, boat. Hopefully you're a better driver than me. But yeah, repairs are the same price no matter the percentage, which I mean, I guess some people can take advantage of it, but let me cut the engine on this. It's loud. Alright, I'm actually going to turn the sounds down because my mic is probably not going to pick this up that good since I don't ever... Alright, we're going to turn the effects down. Even though I kind of need the effects on, gonna turn that down. We're just gonna turn it down. So quick heads up, the repairs, they're the same price no matter if it's 99% damage, 1% damage. I don't like it. I wish it was different. I wish they based it upon like a percentage, so you paid a little bit to keep them fixed, or you paid a lot to redo it. But but I can tell the difference between the rod that had like 20% damage and the rod at 100% damage. I instantly felt a difference. So you're gonna have to equip, like, you need to put your fishing rods up here. I have both of these. These are both of my spinning rods. Let me turn on the engine. All right, I can't even hear the motor now. All right, so just cruise up a little bit off the shore, and I have my drag at 18. Just gonna toss this out there, get a little bit of distance, give it a couple seconds for it to drop all the way down. Okay, now it's dropped. I'm gonna click the reel in, I'm gonna press 0, and the reel automatically goes over here. I'm gonna do the same thing with number 2. As you can see, number 2 has the exact same lure. So we're gonna toss that sucker out there, just like that. You can experiment on the depths, but I've been doing it at 50%. Sometimes you can go further. It just depends. If you're not catching fish, try to move it. Try to give it more line. If you have more line, you're not catching fish, try to give it less line. It's something to experiment with. I don't have it 100%. So yeah, so let me close the reel, press 0. So now I have rods on both sides, and I have the boat with the engine on. I'm sitting here, I'm gonna press M. So we are here. We want to drive the boat across this hole right here. Come down a little bit across this hole right here, and we're gonna want to swing the boat around up here, try to hit this pocket and come back down, and then go up and do an entire turn up here, try to turn down, and then just repeat going from these deep holes. The best areas are really between here and here. Is usually where I'm always getting a fish, and about here are some big osp and stuff. I just wish I could get them more often. Maybe I switch lures or something, I'll be able to do it. Maybe if I troll with like a super minnow, who knows, or I buy the most expensive spoon, I could probably do it. Or if I just put skill points into spoons and spinners, I could probably get more trophies. I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna unlock wobblers soon, and I'd rather buff up the wobblers than buff up the spoons. But if you don't want to grind like that, if you're perfectly fine fishing in one area, doing the same thing over and over for like weeks, it would pay off tremendously, because you would be consistently catching trophies of a fish species that the market has not tanked the price on. So yeah, so you would be getting wholesale from here instead of retail. You would be selling your fish for a lot more. You would have less fish, be worth a lot more, and you would, but the problem is you wouldn't want to leave Mosquito because this technique's only worth it here. So yeah, so let's put it into action. If you look at the top right, you see trolling mode. I'm gonna press J, and the boat automatically starts moving by itself, and all we have to do is let the boat cruise right up the middle. Just cruise it right up the middle. Alright, so I already got a fish right there. You see how my rod is bending? I just press J, I stop it. Then that rod is number 1 from the hot slot, from my quick slot. I press it and I just reel in the fish. So this is just a perch. The majority of the time they're always good sized perches that I'm catching from the boat. There I go, I cast it out again. Let the spoon sink all the way down to the bottom. Press the right mouse key to close my reel. I mean you could just probably press enter, but whatever, it's up to you. Then I just press J on the keyboard again, and I continue going on. Like I said, just go right down the middle of the lake. The dark eye is the dark eye is this guy right here. I believe that's the dark eye. So you want to go over the dark eye and head a little bit towards the right, right around here. That's the other deep end. It's called something or other, or maybe the dark eye. Maybe this is the dark eye and that's the witch's hole. I don't really know too much. Oh, got another fish on the other line. I just pressed 2 and I have that one. I'm gonna reel them out. There you go. That's my buried. Oh no, that's a perch again. Just gonna cast it out there. I don't mind it because using a boat you can fish your. Using a boat, your spinning gear basically acts like bottom fishing. So yeah, so I'm basically bottom fishing with a spinning rod right now. I don't have to set the hooks. I don't have to hold it in my hand. I don't have to present any techniques. Okay, so maybe farewell pool is this. I'm not too sure. I have no way of knowing. So it looks like I'm coming off into the shallows. I'm about to hit a right turn. I've never really been able to catch anything over there. I know that the pike are over there. I catch them all the time, but I've never been able to catch anything. Trolling, I've trolled up and down the shores. I've done all that shit, and I was never able to pull a fish out. Maybe with a different lure, but not with this lure. I did try a different spoon and it did not produce consistently like the Hypnotic does. I don't have the higher tier spoon, but I imagine that the higher tier spoon would probably produce bigger fish. So if you want to spend money on that and try it out for yourself, because I haven't done it. I'm perfectly happy getting 12 silver per bag when I finally go cash it in. That's maybe an average of 6 silver per day, because I think that was a day and a half of silver, and that's perfectly I'm perfectly fine with that. Oh, got another fish as soon as I entered the dark hole. Let's reel this guy in. I've had some big fish. I had a fish so big that he got off my hook, and I went off and I switched to one of my higher tier hooks. So hopefully I'll be able to catch those big ones. Yeah, so we want those osp and we want those what are they called? Keep net. We want ides. We want shit, what are those other little shiny ones? Hopefully I don't wreck. Chubs. So yeah, we're after the chubs. We're also after those ides. They're over here in the deep end. That's our target fish. And occasionally you'll catch a perch. I did happen to catch a pike one time when I was turning over there, but it was a little pike. So you do have a chance to get snagged, but I imagine to lose your lure if you don't use a leader. But I imagine that if I just don't go that close to the shore over there, I could probably mitigate that. And now that I think about it, I could probably optimize this experience even further. Yeah, so I guess this is the witch's hole, and that's the dark eye. So yeah, so we're just gonna go from look. As soon as I hit the witch's hole, I already got a fish. So make sure you stop the trolling motor, because if you don't, it's gonna be a pain to fish. And over here at the witch's hole, I've caught some big ides over here. Yeah, so these 4.98 are consistently 1 fucking silver, which is ridiculous. That's almost like 5 crucians just with one fish. So this area right here, it produces those ides, but you wouldn't be able to catch them unless you're on the boat or you already have very high tier fishing gear. That way you can cast out there. I'm pretty sure you'll need a bunch of skill points into your casting, or else you just won't reach towards the deep end. It's 5 meters deep. I imagine it's 5 meters deep. It has a 5 on it, and they use meters here. So yeah, you'd have to be able to cast from what's that, Elk's Rest or whatever, all the way into the very middle of the lake to even catch them on the bobber or bottom fishing. I don't know how to do it. I just know this way is doing it, and this feels like the boat is built to use like this. And I was mad because I rented my boat, but after fishing I was like, shit, I'm gonna use the boat any damn ways. I was mad because I wanted to fish with a bobber, and bottom line, I just wanted to toss some. I just wanted to park the boat, put the anchor down, toss my bobber, toss my bottom feeder rods, put them on those holders, and cast around and wait for a bite on either my bobber or whatever. I mean, who the hell doesn't bobber fish from a boat? You know, like that's probably one of the oldest ways of catching a fish ever. It's probably the oldest. I mean, of course, fishing from the shore would be the oldest, but once people figured out how to use a boat, they automatically got over there. Like, we got a fish on number 1 already. So just in 10-minute video or whatever, I'm already at a 5 fish bag. That's only on 1 trip and a half. So I'm about to finish the second trip. So I got 5 fish going from one side of the lake, turning around and going to the other side of the lake, and then halfway. Oh, I didn't cast number 1 out. That was a mistake. Make sure you don't do that shit. Alright, I'm gonna put that guy back. We're gonna hit J. And then because I'm thinking that if I get fluorocarbon, then, or maybe even a fluorocarbon leader, now that I think about it, but just fluorocarbon string, because I'm thinking a lot of those, the ides and the chubs, they're not biting, the bigger ones, because I have a leader on. But if you go close over there to that side, you'll catch a pike, and the pike will break your string, and you'll lose your lure. And these lures are kind of expensive for you to be losing them when the leader only costs 1 silver, 3 silver. So yeah, so let's try to make another trip. It's already 1,400 hours. I made like 1 trip. So yeah, so you're not gonna want to drive your boat and cash in your fish as soon as the day ends. You could actually troll during the night and pick up another fish, maybe 1 or 2 more. So yeah, also I don't recommend every day going and catching in your fish. I actually recommend keeping fish for maybe 2 days, 2 to 3 days. I've held fish for about 3 days, and I've actually been able to fulfill a couple cafe quests just because I've had fish that were in my inventory from days ago. So yeah, not only will you get a lot more money from doing quests, but when you finally go and cash in your fish at the market, you'll see that that you've actually earned a lot of silver. And so it makes you feel like you've accumulated a lot more silver for the shit that you do, than instead of going back after every day, but going back to the market and only having 4 silver on you. and then being like, what the fuck, I only made 4 fucking silver, I just fished all those carps and shit. Yeah, so just keep your fish on you. Do it for 2 or 3 days. You can catch these fish at night. Let's just do one more trip. Let's just do one more trip, and I'll get off and I'll try to show you how many, just from this little trip, how much silver you could be expecting to get. Even though I didn't really catch a lot of chubs, a lot of the time you'll be catching chubs. You could try using different lures, but I know that those spoons, the hypnotic red, they're in the sun. You could probably do this in the rain if you had like a hypnotic green or a hypnotic yellow. And shit, the hypnotic green or hypnotic yellow when it's raining. This is the red, and when it's sunny. If you want to try a different lure, I would recommend one of the higher cost, the more expensive lures. You can come over here to records and you can see for yourself. So our target is the chub, which you can see here is a provoker. Here's a yellow one, and the eyed. Well, we're catching that on the lure. I'm trying to make sure I don't wreck. Okay, so I got a fish over here. Just been checking that shit. So I think that provoker is actually new. Yeah, there's our chub right there. You know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna try this other one just on the way back. Let's go to our spinning reels. Go to change. If you have jigging, so let me show you how to jig. I'm gonna do that. I got the jig head. I'm just gonna do this number 5, and I'm going to put on this provoker right here, this Heaven's Creek. Give it a little distance, drop it down. Alright, and let's press J. I don't really know if the yellow, I have the yellow provoker or whatever, but I'm not gonna put it on there. Because I'm not gonna put it on there because they were talking about the color affects it. Even though I've used green lures during the day, I use green lures during the day where I go fishing at, because the water is real nasty. It's full of dirt. Water is constantly being churned, and the water's not clear. If the water was clear, then yeah, I'd recommend a blue or red one for sure. But since the water is all murky, I use green. It's actually called chartreuse. So there we go. Right here we got a fish on the provoker, size 5 jig with the provoker, and it looks like a nice bite. Let's see what it is. Damn, that's a nice fish. It's probably a pike. I'm suspecting it is. Nope. Yep, I figured he was gonna be a pike. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pikes do get on the rod. Now that I see that I can catch pike, I'm definitely gonna have to do a video where I'm catching the pike and where I'm trolling with the jigs, because I like catching the pike. I don't know what it is about it. Probably because pike is an American fish, and I've seen a lot of people. I mean, there's pike in the United States. Not that it comes from the United States, but there's pike here, and it's been represented in video games. It's always been represented as a deadly fish because of the teeth and stuff, and that it's a strong fish to fight because it's sleek, whatever. So yeah, so I like doing that, and noticing that I can pull them out with the provoker. I want to try it. Like I said, I'm gonna have to rent the boat out again. I'm probably going to troll this area for a while and just catch these smaller fish, and because I could go to Oldberg and fish it over there and try to catch the very big ones and shit. But I mean, this is easy. Like, what I do is I just troll, press the button, and you can even hear it. Here we go on the provoker. So that's my jig setup. I got another fish right here. I'll take this perch. Doesn't matter. Since I'm already at the shore, I'm just gonna put it up. Let's go ahead and troll all the way to the shore. And just what was that? 2 trips, 3 trips up and down. Didn't take nothing but like 3 in-game hours. I mean 3 in-game hours, right? I think we started at 1400. I was halfway through the trip. I'm just imagining you just keep on going up and down, trying different lures. They have some nice big fish. They have some nice fish here, so I wouldn't doubt that using your lures, using the right lure setup, you'd be able to knock it out the park. As you saw, I have jigs, I have spoons. Maybe the bigger, better spinner baits would produce big fish as well. It looks like a lot of the record fish need bait, except these guys right here. They have spoons. I don't have this yellow spoon, but I have a red one. I don't know what size hook they use for that, and if they caught it at night. As you can see here, these are the tiny spoons, so yeah, you can catch some big perch right away. This is the bigger spoons that I was telling you about. I actually have this one right here, I just don't use it. But yeah, you could start off right away with the cheapest rod. The two you can buy a spinning rod, a spinning reel, your string, and the cheapest spoon. Just come over here. It's colored, right? Yeah, it's a colored one. And rent out the boat and already start doing it. Get enough cash, buy another cheap one, and just go up and down over and over. So yeah, so in 4 in-game hours, I already made 4 silver off of just those fish that I have. I'm just gonna go ahead and sell them right now. I don't care about the market. I'm about to end the video. Usually that 4 silver is how much I would earn after an entire day of fishing carps. You might get lucky, get a couple fatties, but carps generally range about 0.1 silver. So that means I need 10 carps to get 1 silver. Yeah, so on average about 40 fish, 40 carps. Maybe you can knock it down to 20 carps if you want, to equal the same amount of money that I made in 3 hours with just 9 fish. So I imagine trolling up and down there, switching up your lures, getting better lures, coming back over here. My very first bag when I first discovered it was actually 20 silver. I was very pleased, and I think I even sold stuff to the cafe. I'm up to 143 silver. I was down to 70 silver when I last ended, or 80 something silver now, or somewhere around there, which only makes 10 silver difference, but still 10 silver is a shitload. It's a new rod here in this game. And then two times going, I made it to 143. You guys just saw me sell my bag at the start, sell another bag. Yeah, so with a six silver investment, I've made about what, 50 silver, 60 silver, just from a 6 silver investment and having spinning rods, having the right baits. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, guys. I just wanted to put that heads up. How to fish it. Again, you can need spinning gear. You can use the cheapest spinning gear, the cheapest line, the cheapest spoon, as long as it's has some detail on it. Green usually works in the rain, and reddish hues, blue hues work during the day. But the cheap spoon is not that expensive. The hypnotic is what works. So come over here, rent out the boat, get on the boat, cast it, wait for the lure to fall down all the way, put the reel on the holders, and your trajectory is to go over the witch's hole, come around, over the dark eye, swing it around, and try to catch it again. And this is where the fish are, right here. If you come too close to this edge, you'll catch pike. And if you don't have a leader, you'll lose your lure. So what you might want to do instead is come, because I'm suspecting that not having the leader, you'll probably catch bigger fish of the target species that don't have teeth, like the eye and the chub, which is your target species. Even though there are perch, I think perch have teeth. Not sure if they break your shit, but I used to be able to catch them without a leader. When on lower levels, I used to fish for the perch without them, and I suspect if you take the leader off, you'll get bigger fish. But just keep it between the witch eye and the dark hole, and I mean the witch hole and the dark eye, and swing it around this way. This area has never produced anything. I've trolled this entire area here with the spoons, never produced anything. This entire area with the spoons, never produced anything. This entire area with the spoons never produced anything. This area on the other hand has produced a couple eyes that were nice size. And I just discovered that if I switch over to the jig and the provoker, I could probably pull out pike from here. So I might switch over to the jigs for a while, might switch over to spoons and just try to give it up. But that'll have to wait, because I'll try to make another video where I fish with various lures, and I'll rent out the boat again, and we'll see each other then. So thank you for watching. Leave me a message if you have some information, you want to ask something. The majority of the time I respond as soon as I can. And I just want to say thanks everybody for watching this series. Hope you guys like this game, and I'll see you either later tonight or tomorrow. Goodbye.